Welcome back to the Utah Fishing Channel. In this video, we'll be fishing at Mantua Reservoir in Mantua, Utah. Keep watching to see what species of fish we found and what we used to catch them. If you like this video, then please subscribe to the channel because it really helps. I want to start this video by saying thank you to the Mantua Waterfront RV Resort, who helped make this video possible. I really wanted to take my time learning how to fish this reservoir, but I also didn't want to leave my family and just go fishing during the holidays. So we decided to make the trip to Mantua a family thing. My wife, 4 kids, and I spent 2 days together in a cabin at the Mantua Waterfront RV Resort. Oh, it's warm in here. The resort is less than 10 minutes from Brigham City, which pretty much has anything you need and lots of activities for those in your family who may not be as into fishing as you are. It was a huge advantage for me to be able to stay so close to a reservoir that I was trying to learn how to fish. It only took about 3 minutes for me to get up and walk from my bed to Mantua Reservoir. Check out the loft. Dang, look at that.
2 lofts. Look at that.
Look at that.
How do you get over to the other one?
I'm gonna have to throw you up there. All right, so tomorrow's the day that we're gonna be fishing. And I brought the canoe because I wasn't sure if we were gonna have open water or ice. And if we were gonna have ice, I didn't know how much ice. It looks like we have ice, and it might be sketchy ice, so it'll be interesting to see how thick it is tomorrow, if it's thick enough to fish, maybe shallow. If not, we'll figure something out. It looks like there might be some open water, like right in the center, just a little bit, but it's mostly frozen over, which is awesome. I'm just staying shallow. Looks like some people or something has broken the ice recently, but looks like it gets thicker as you go out. There's nobody ice fishing yet. There is some open water over there. Looks like there's some holes though from where people have drilled or thrown rocks, one of the two. Anyway, it's still pretty patchy. I wouldn't suggest going out there in the deep water, but we'll stay shallow. Not having to plan for drive time allowed me to sleep in a little and still get started fishing earlier than anyone else. So I actually bumped into another fisherman here who brought a camera. We put that down there and we could actually see a few fish. We saw a trout and some panfish down there, so we know they're there now for sure. We just don't know for sure if they're biting. Using the camera, we saw some big schools of perch, and as the morning went on, they seemed to get more active, but only active enough to just bump our lures. So while we saw a whole bunch of perch, we weren't able to get them to bite. Right now, there's definitely parts where the ice is too thin. You can see it, but if it were to snow, it would be really hard to tell. If you venture out on the ice, you definitely want to make sure that you're drilling every few feet or so, especially in the next couple of weeks as this reservoir gets more solid. Just want to be careful if you come, bring somebody with you. Got ice picks. After drilling a few more holes in the ice, I decided I might have access to more underwater structure on the other side of the reservoir, which was open water. So I eventually gave up on ice fishing and grabbed my canoe and waders to fish shallow water near a weed line. All right, since the ice is thin, it's pretty hard to pick and choose which spots you want to fish in. There's a lot of weed beds over here on this side of the lake where there's open water. The river's coming in over here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fish some open water on this side. It's crazy, there's a guy, I can see him ice fishing on the other side of the lake. And here I am canoeing on this side of the lake. It's pretty wild. But I'm gonna look for some weed beds, fish some of these trees, looking for some panfish. Man, it's a beautiful morning though. Totally still and quiet, except for that car over there. I love this little rod because it's such a fast and easy setup. Obviously, you don't want to use it if you need to cast a long ways, but if you're fishing up close and tight like I am, it's actually a good option because it has a good 9-foot reach, and then you can do a bow and arrow cast if you're familiar with fly fishing, and you can get into some pretty tight spaces with this rod, which is awesome. First fish, it's a rainbow, which is hoping to get some panfish too, but rainbow will do, that's okay. Oh, come on rainbow. There's a bite, be a bluegill. Come on. Rainbow. We'll take it. It's okay. I'm not mad. It's a chubby rainbow. Not big, but he's fat. So I got a couple bobbers out, and I'm just gonna let the current from the river kind of push me out. Kind of slow motion trolling here. So far, most of what I've caught has been up by the brush, but it's just been rainbows. So I want to see if there's something else out here that might be willing to bite. Here comes the ice. The little boy inside me wanted to break some ice, I guess. Okay, let's go fish. Usually it's hard to catch the trout and the panfish are easy, but man, here, the bluegill are tough. And the perch, whatever these fish are that I'm trying to catch, they are really skittish. There's a bite right there. Ooh, nice bluegill. What do you call that, Teej? What do you call that?
A slab.
You call that a slab? I will say that Mantua has some of the smartest bluegill I've ever fished for. I had to go down to 3-pound line and tiny scud flies before the bluegill started biting. But once I finally found out what they were interested in, I was pretty confident that I could help my boys catch a bunch of fish from shore. So I made the short trip back to the cabin and picked up my kids so they could get in on the fishing action. As a side note, another reason my family enjoyed our stay at the Mantua Waterfront Resort was that after a long day of fishing, we could go back to our cabin and have a warm place to relax and have some good food. On the Utah Fishing Channel, we love supporting local businesses that help families get into the outdoors. So if you plan to fish Mantua anytime soon, I'd highly recommend staying at least one night at the Mantua Waterfront RV Resort.